What is up, Jake Paulers? It's your boy Leafyers here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Let's get right into the news. Now, if you don't follow my Twitter, you should. You may not have seen my recent tweet saying that something really important has come up in my life, and I'm going to have to travel for it. As such, the next episode of Planet Rust has been delayed a spell, but fear not, it is coming. In the meantime, I've made a few little videos to keep you lot entertained, starting with this one. Many of you might not know that I am a huge Fallout fan. Hell, LOLOUT was named based on Fallout, and my first ever video was a very, very bad Fallout montage. Don't you dare watch it. Yes, you. Don't you bloody dare. Well, with the announcement of Fallout 76, a game I'm sure is in the mind of many of my fans at the moment, I want to start a mini commentary series where I discuss my opinions on the games, and of course, Fallout 76, but that will be its own bloody video entirely. I will start this series discussing the most recent in the franchise, Fallout 4. I will preface this video by saying that it is, without a doubt, my least favourite in the series, so far, at least. That's not saying the game is bad, not by a long shot, but I put it to you that it is a bad Fallout game. It's a great game in other regards, just not Fallout. And before people think I'm some kind of Fallout layman, yes, I have played the pre-Bethesda originals, and I love them. Heck, I finished every Fallout game to this date, some more times than others. To me, there is one key moment in Fallout 4 that defines my primary issues with the game and how it felt to play. I think most people who have played the game will have felt the same way about this moment. I am, of course, referring to the Power Armor Deathclaw set piece. Not even an hour into this game, the player is with relative ease given a suit of power armor, a minigun, and is pushed into what has to be the easiest Deathclaw fight in Fallout history. Let's outline all that's wrong with this. Power armor has always been a fabled suit in the Fallout universe, requiring skill to master, and it is usually a late game advantage the player is given. In Fallout 4, you get this armor immediately. It feels strange, it doesn't sit right at all. I don't want to be a deity immediately in Fallout. I want to start as an incompetent buffoon and work my way up to this legendary status. I don't want to start as a god. Adding insult to injury, in previous games, NPCs would train you to wear power armor. It was kind of stupid, but it made sense from a gameplay perspective. Bit my fucking tongue. Like I was saying, it made sense from a gameplay perspective. Although you did no real training, it allowed the player to wear the suit when the game intended the player to wear the suit. If you found one lying about in the wasteland, you couldn't just shove it on and hope for the best. In those games, the power armor was just a suit. Literally, just a suit. It felt weird training for something I'd just shove on in my inventory, but it made some sense. In Fallout 4, the suit is actually a machine. It looks like it requires training to use. It's basically a wearable tank that you literally have to step into and enter like a vehicle. Yet this is the game where power armor doesn't require training. Why? Oh, but LOLOUT, the player had military experience, it makes sense he should be able to operate the suit. Well, it bloody doesn't if you're a female lawyer, does it? Don't think she's had any military training. It just feels disingenuous. I get it. Bethesda worked hard on the power armor and its customizability and such, and wanted to show it off. But they sacrificed a brilliant story moment for this. Power armor doesn't feel special to me in Fallout 4. It feels like it's a given in the game, not special in the slightest. If this exact same scene had happened near the end of the game, I probably wouldn't have cared. I'd have been like, yeah, that was pretty fucking cool, I've earned this. But it didn't, it happened at the start when I'd literally just come out of cryosleep. It just didn't make sense to me. I felt, why am I a god now? I've done nothing, I've just walked down a road and found a dog. I don't deserve this. If that wasn't bad enough, the bloody Deathclaw. I mean, name a more iconically difficult and evil character in the Fallout universe than a Deathclaw. This creature is fucking horrible. Remember trying to get to the Strip early in New Vegas, and that massive bloody thing came out of nowhere and just destroyed you? That is a deathclaw. Not enjoyable to fight at any stage of the game, always a challenge. In 4, you just blow the bastard to pieces while wearing a giant metal super soldier suit. It feels like spreading butter over perfectly browned toast. Too bloody easy. I tried the fight on every single difficulty, out of curiosity, and it is just easy. It's always easy. You can back away from the thing and hold the trigger down and it will die. Just like that. The most powerful and fabled armor in the game is in your possession, and you've slayed the most evil, nasty creature in the game, all within the first hour. I really feel like I earned that. Not. I am not a novice, not a student of the wasteland. I am already a master, and it feels shitty. Fallout 3 did a similar thing with the super mutant behemoth and the fat man. I didn't like that either, but that didn't ruin my immersion. It didn't feel as disingenuous and as forced as the set piece in Fallout 4. But hey, that's another video for another time. Now, there's no way I can make this video without touching on the voiced protagonist. In my opinion, the worst decision Bethesda made when developing this game. Your son is captured, and your wife or husband is killed. How I react to this should be entirely up to me. Hearing a voice actor feign emotion for a son and wife that I personally have known for 10 minutes just feels cheesy. The player doesn't likely care, and this is of course fault in the writing also. At least if my chap was silent, I could interpret his meaning objectively from my point of view. Clues in the name role-playing game. This should be me, not Mr. Army Man who acts hurt and cut up for a few lines of speech, then carries on as normal. The game missed so many elements of what makes Fallout Fallout with the voice protagonist decision. Speech seems dumbed down, a shell of its former self. I found myself avoiding conversation, which is a crying shame for a game which should be based around it. They had to cut corners and minimize intelligent interaction due to hiring a voice actor for every line of dialogue. A huge detriment to the overall experience. The story itself is actually laughable. Don't get me wrong, the game had good side quests and some memorable moments, like for example launching that ship of robots into a skyscraper. That was funny, I like that. But the primary quest, the motive of your character that was supposed to be his driving force, is a complete joke. The player simply does not care enough about Sean to really give any kind of shit. In a playthrough, I can lose my wife and my son, wake up from cryosleep, leave the vault, travel to Goodneighbor and shag the singer all within an hour. Does that sound logical to you? Is that remotely believable from a chap who's just lost his wife and son? No, it doesn't at all. I found myself openly laughing several times throughout this game for small things like that. Just how ridiculous it is that the player is expected to care. The backbone of the story breaks before I was even able to see the light of the wasteland day. And that, my friends, sucks. Don't get me wrong, however. The game did make some huge steps in the right direction. I know I'm moaning, but there are some diamonds among all this rough. The gunplay, for example, was a huge improvement, and the game looked bloody gorgeous. I spent more time in this game just looking at things than I did questing, so good job on that one, Bethesda art team. The game is a beautiful disaster. With so much potential, it was such a shame it turned out the way it did. I know people defend this game to high heaven. Hell, I used to. When the game came out, I forced myself to like it, being such a huge fan of the series, and defended things which, looking back, were really undefendable. I suppose I've grown into more of an open-eyed cynic, but unless people make a fuss, no one is going to do anything about it. I know this video is late, like 3 years late, but I didn't want to do anything until I had a concrete decision on my own opinions of the game in my head, and with Fallout 76 being announced, this seemed just like the right time to touch on it. Now, I haven't talked on nearly all of my woes related to this game in the video, but it's long enough as it is, so I'll leave you lot to it. Rant over. What do you think, anyway? Let me know your opinions in the comments, and maybe give this video a like if you enjoyed it remotely. Hell, Maybe a LOLOUT moaning series would be fun to do. Who knows? Lastly, and most importantly, stay coy, you handsome bloody devils. Toodaloo.